hopefully, inshallah, forever. The life of the contract, as any other contract, it has a lifetime but renewable, and the need for this service will continue forever. Now, the financials, there will be gains in the near term as benchmark between 20 to 30% cost saving. And in terms of financial of this company will be profitable and will generate or create value for both shareholders.
And coming up next on India Business Hour, does India's move to IFRS accounting mean bye-bye ESOPs? Well, we find out.
It's that time of the year when the world's most powerful people discuss the most important issues of our time. And CNBC TV 18's Menaka Doshi will be right in the middle of the action.
Davos preparing to host the only one-of-its-kind mega economic meeting.
Talking to heads of state, CEOs, industry captains, political and thought leaders. And find out if India will assert the India Inclusive Agenda in the World Economic Forum. Davos, the global epicenter of power, throughout this month.
The wisdom of the wise and the experience of ages may be preserved by quotations. Hi, this is Ramesh Damani, inviting you to a brand new season of RD 360 Money Making Maxims. Join me as we explore the maxims, the myths, and the superstitions of the financial world.
RD 360, brought to you by Sher Khan Trade Tiger.
Has the government delivered on the promises it made in its last budget? Has the UPA's economic performance been average, satisfactory or good? Did the last budget live up to its expectations? Find out on the Budget Report Card with me, Shireen Bhan.
Presented by Aditya Birla Group, taking India to the world. Associate sponsor LIC of India, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi. Supported by Mint, refreshing clarity in business.
This is India Business Hour. Now, when India Inc. switches accounting standards to IFRS, it may also have to review its employee stock option plans to avoid an earnings hit. Ashwin Mohan finds out why.
The traditional employee stock option model may soon become a thing of the past, with IFRS mandating that the cost of the stock option be reflected in the accounts. Indian corporates are now hunting for alternative employee compensation packages.
As compared to a no-cost situation today, in the future, every option that you grant, even if it is at today's market price, will result in a cost to the profit and loss account.
And this cost will hit the earnings.
Although it doesn't hit the net worth of the company because there's a contra entry into the reserves because it's that way a notional charge, but it does impact reported earnings and therefore the EPS of companies.
Experts say charges cannot be avoided, but going in for restricted stock units may decrease the burden that ESOPs carry.
What happens under that kind of model is, as opposed to giving options at 100 rupees, which is today's market price, the option is given at a very discounted value, let's say at 2 rupees per share. What that does is that even though there is a cost to the profit and loss account, because the difference between 100 and 2 will be charged off to the P&L, the employee will always remain motivated because the option will always be in the money, given that it is given at such a steep discount.
The switch is already happening.
Wipro, Patni, Mphasis are some of the large IT companies that have already moved into the RSU kind of framework. Similarly, there are other companies like Mahindra and Mahindra, Nestle, which are also, I think, making that switch over.
Well, this does not mean that ESOPs will be discontinued totally, but companies in traditional ESOP domains like financial services, pharmaceuticals and FMCG may go in for a more calibrated approach. In Mumbai, Ashwin Mohan.
Well, coming up next, Randstad, the world's second largest HR firm, is betting big on India as companies begin hiring again. More details coming up.
News alerts on your mobile. SMS alert to 51818. or log on to m.cnbc-tv18.com.
The entire system has become whimsical and unpredictable with respect to the regulatory outcomes.
Most of the industries in India still feel that environmental issues are something they have to deal with.
If all of industry feels that environmental regulation or the implementation of environmental laws is an inconvenience, then that, in my opinion, and I think you'll agree, Menka, reflects poorly on industry.
The Firm, brought to you by Shriram Insight.
Should there be direct cash transfers for the poor, or should they continue to break their backs to fill their stomachs? Should the government decide who to feed and who to educate? Between Sonia Gandhi's compassion and Manmohan Singh's compulsions, what will win? Catch me, Siddharth Zarabi, with the development agenda for Budget 2011 only on CNBC TV 18.
Presented by Aditya Birla Group, taking India to the world. Associate sponsor LIC of India, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi. Supported by Mint, refreshing clarity in business.
This is Network 18, and you are watching CNBC TV 18.
Welcome back. Now, here's some good news. Companies across the globe are hiring again, and companies in India and China are leading the way, it seems, or so says the chairman of leading global HR firm Randstad Holding. Mitra Joshi and Kritika Saxena find out more.
Headhunters across the world are smiling again. In most markets, a bad job market is history. And with companies in India opening their doors and wallets for large recruitment drives, HR firms are betting on the India story to accelerate their own growth momentum. Randstad, the world's second largest HR firm, is betting big on India. It says India and China were the only dependable economies during the downturn, and 2011 will be no exception. And like job opportunities, challenges are not hard to find either.
Both markets have a relatively high percentage of unorganized work, which I think, by the way, is one of the challenges for both countries to reduce that. You see that people are short-term oriented. That means there's high mobility in the labor market. They will change for cash. The research we do in the market here, that the mobility index in India is actually the highest in the world we can measure. People change a lot.
Randstad says sectors like banking and financial services, infrastructure, healthcare, hospitality, IT and pharma are booming like never before.
Randstad also says that the HR trend in India and China is that jobs are available not just in metros but in tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. And this could translate into greater developments in these cities. With Kritika Saxena in Mumbai, this is Mitra Joshi.
Well, that's it from our end tonight on India Business Hour, but we'll be back with more on CNBC TV 18. Stay tuned.
It's that time of the year when the world's most powerful people discuss the most important issues of our time. And CNBC TV 18's Menka Doshi will be right in the middle of the action.
Davos preparing to host the only one of its kind mega economic meeting.
Talking to heads of state, CEOs, industry captains, political and thought leaders. And find out if India will assert the India inclusive agenda in the World Economic Forum. Davos, the global epicenter of power. Throughout this month,
brought to you by Servo, world-class engine oil from Indian Oil. Religare commercial loans. In your success lies ours. Serap, D-Decor, Vodafone and Monte Carlo.
As the Indian economy's day of reckoning arrives, will Budget 2011 impact the confidence in this government? Watch me, Karan Thapar, as I engage with India's top policy minds on how this government can cut through the scams and the political stalemate. Don't miss the budget specials from the country's #1 current affairs show, India Tonight.
Presented by Aditya Birla Group, taking India to the world. Associate sponsor LIC of India, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi. Supported by Mint, refreshing clarity in business.
This is Network 18. And you are watching CNBC TV 18.